Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokce Capital. Now before I begin, be sure to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It's every host's worst nightmare. Just 6 hours before the Aguayo sisters were to prepare Thanksgiving dinner for 30 guests, the power went out. So what did they do? We'll find out at the end of this video. But first, we all know how important electricity is. Yet it's just one of several key services we collectively call dry utilities. And in today's video, we have everything you need to know. Number 1, what are dry utilities? Dry utilities in construction typically include electric, telephone, TV, internet, and gas. Any utility that doesn't involve water. Number 2, dry utilities are distinct from wet utilities, which, as the name would suggest, are those utilities that involve running water, such as sewer lines, storm drains, and water systems. Number 3, while dry and wet utilities may often be separated out during land development and construction, they can sometimes be installed together. When this is done, it's called joint trenching. And you see this when pipes and cabling for gas, water, electricity, and telecommunication are run through a single trench in the ground together. Number 4, how do you install dry utilities? Well, if you are a developer looking to extend utilities out to a new subdivision, the first step is to obtain approvals from all relevant utility companies and government agencies. You may also need to enter at this point into a contract with the utility company. The contractor or subcontractor will then excavate the trench and install the conduit for the dry utilities. The utility company will pull their own cables through the conduits and then inspect the final result to make sure that it was installed correctly. When the final utility, or that utility closest to grade, has been installed, soil will be placed over the trench and compacted. Number 5. At this point you may be thinking we've talked a lot about trenches, but what about overhead power lines? How do I bring these to my land? Well, in some ways the process is very similar. You'll need to get all relevant approvals from the local power company and government agencies. The power company will typically undertake the construction of the new power lines. So first they will come out to inspect your land, determine whether power line extension is feasible, where the power lines will run, and how much it will cost. You will then often establish a contract for service with the power company, and the provider will extend the power lines. We have another video on extending utilities to vacant land, but keep in mind that power extension can be very expensive, and the utility company charges on a per linear foot basis. And number 6, now we've covered in brief extending dry utilities to your property, but most of the time you as a land or property owner will interact with dry utilities when you need to avoid them during a construction process. Fortunately, there is a national 811 number. When you call, someone will come out and mark all utilities on your property so you don't hit any when you begin construction. But let's return to the Aguayo sisters. This Thanksgiving, they had an unexpected guest at their table. The Santa Ana winds had come to Southern California. The high gusts and dry air brought by the devil winds create the ideal conditions for a wildfire should a snapped power line ever ignite a blaze. Thus, Southern California Edison, the local power provider, preemptively shut down power in pockets of Los Angeles and San Diego counties. So what do you do with a giant bird and no electricity? You grill it, of course. And if you don't have a grill, you can always try the holiday dinner in a can. Now, do you have any stories about dry utilities? Let us know in the comments. Did you like this video? You're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in just 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down listings at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.